guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. How are you doing? If you watched my last video and you notice that I am still wearing the same thing from that video, that is because I am immediately recording this one afterwards because we've got to get this done. All right, so today is June 26th. We are 4 days away from July 1st, and I made a decision about a week ago, and then yesterday I was thinking about the fact that the timeline or the start date of that decision is approaching. So let's get to it. I made the decision about a week ago to publish my next book in the paranormal series, The Five Sisters, in 3 months. So, I mean, write, edit, and publish within 3 months, book 4 of The Five Sisters, starting on July 1st. So I want to start July 1st, and the goal is to have this book published by September 30th. September 30th, October 1st, which ironically or coincidentally, I will say coincidentally because it didn't click at first until I was thinking of the dates. It's actually when I published the first book in the series. And believe it or not, I think I wrote it and edited and published within the same time frame. So at first when I was thinking of this, I was like, this is such a crazy plan to do, especially considering I've had this thought before and I have failed terribly in the past. I have postponed so many book releases. I have extended them out. I've canceled them. So I was like, am I really going to try to do this within 3 months? I've done it before, so this shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to stick with that mindset of I did it before. Book 1, Power, I started writing a little before I was laid off from my job at the time in 2014. And I went through all the motions of starting to promote it and everything, finished it, edited, and it went live on Amazon on October 1st. It wasn't supposed to go live until October 5th for my grandmother's birthday, in honor of her birthday the year after she passed, but it went October 1st. So that's neither here nor there. So I did it before. I think I can do it again. Sorry if it's going to be a weird cut. The cat, Mister, he pulled my attention. But I did it before, and I think I can do it again. So that is my goal, is to try to stick with it and not actually cancel it. Now, why did I make this decision? Well, number one is I've been watching AuthorTube recently. I haven't really been watching it that much in the past. It'll be kind of sparingly here and there, but I found myself recently, maybe every day so far for the last 2 weeks, of actually switching from my other channel that I watch other stuff on to watching AuthorTube. And I've just been getting inspired a lot recently. I watched Becca C. Smith's video that she did where she documented her process of writing, editing, and publishing her book within 90 days. Of course, she did it 90 weekdays after the initial 20 days of writing. Check out her video. It was very inspiring. It was just very inspiring. I don't know what else to say, because it definitely made me go, oh, I wish I could do that. And then I just now remembered that I did do that before. So I'm not going to do this with no weekends. This is going to be pretty much an everyday thing. After I write the book, I want to take a small break off. So probably about a week off to just kind of like breathe from it before we get back into all of the other stuff, like my read through before it gets edited and all of that stuff. I also, in this time frame, want to try to find beta readers. I have the hardest time of finding beta readers, the hardest time. So that is kind of why I decided for the romance stuff, since it's already up on Wattpad, I'm just going to use their feedback as beta reader feedback, because Wattpad people can get very like So that's going to be that. But I need beta readers for this series. So now I've got to start trying to figure out how to find beta readers, because I'm not good at that. I've posted before and hardly got any replies in the past. So I do actually want to have this beta read. I want to do ARC readers. I did not do that in my first go around. I don't think I had any ARC readers for any of the books that I released. So I really want to have ARC readers this time around. And the other reason that I've decided that I want to put out a book is just because it's been so long. It has been a while since I've put out a book, and it's the I guess the main thing is that it is June, the end of June, and I have not sold a single book this year at all. I sold 10 last year. That doesn't seem like much, but it was 10 and it makes me feel good. There's no new reviews. You know, people probably bought it and just sat it on their shelf, which we know people do that. We buy books and we send them to the side until we decide to read them, whatever. But I haven't sold a single book this year, and it was kind of making me go, but then I remember I have a series out that only has 3 books in it. That's it. And nobody's really going to want to start a series if it's not finished. Now, Control, book 3 came out. When did it come out? It came out in 2021, I think. Because 2022, I had some stuff change in my life. So yeah, 2021, I believe, is when Control came out. And we're in 2024. No sign of book 4. I did start writing it. I was about 16,000 words in. It's not working. So we did that. So that is my decision of why I decided I am going to publish a book. If this works out, we will do it again until book 5's come out, and then again until book 6. This series is actually an ongoing series. I have no end date in sight for this series, so I will be writing this series until the end of time. But I do need to keep getting the books out there for the readers. So that is the main reason of why I've decided to do this. Now, let's go into how I am preparing for my 3-month adventure to put out a new book. The first thing that I've decided to do is I've decided to plot this book. Yes, that's right. Me, someone who absolutely hates plotting, has decided to plot. Now, the reason why I decided to plot this story is because I didn't want to go to the document that I already have, where I have those 16,000 words that wasn't working, which is one of the reasons why I kind of pushed it to the side and started working on stuff that was working. I don't want to pull that up and then just pick up where I left off and spend so much time struggling to write through the story that it eats up most of my deadline. So I've decided that I want to plot out the story, like very thoroughly plot out the story as well as I can without feeling like I'm feeling so confined in that space, so that when I sit down to write it, I can write it as fast as I can. I would love to follow Becca C. Smith's idea of writing it within 20 days. I don't think I would be able to write it within 20 days. That would be great if I could. So I wanted to try that. And then after it's written, then we'll do all the other stuff. But I do want to write it, and I don't want to get to the point where I often get where I'm writing and then I will stop to try to think of what happens next. Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't want to do that. If it's there in the plot, then it's there. So last night around 10 o'clock at night, because I spent most of the day reading yesterday, and then that's when I got the idea that I should probably try plotting, because I was like, wait, the end of the month is coming and July 1st is approaching for us to start this. So I decided we'll go ahead and we'll plot. So I pulled out my handy dandy little Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I've tried using the whole beat sheets before. You see I have it all marked up so I know where they are, so I can read up on them and fresh up on them. And I went through and I just read brief descriptions of it, because I've read it so many times I pretty much know what each beat means, but I just kind of read through it briefly, like a brief description. And I sat down and I just numbered 15 beats and I wrote down just a brief couple words, not even full sentences, just a couple words. There are a couple spots that I am stuck on that I'm gonna have to think about more. I have beats 8 through 11, which is the fun and games, the midpoint, bad guys closing, and all is lost. Those, I literally just have them written as fun and games. They're literally just written as that. There's also beat 4 where I need something to happen at the catalyst. That's what I need. The catalyst I need. I gotta think of what the catalyst is. So that's what I gotta think. So that's what I was doing before I pulled up the camera. I actually opened up my document and I'm gonna pull it up just so I could look at it. And I sat down and I just list everything out there. So I mean, I'm okay writing by hand, but I kind of just wanted to have it on this document as well. And I'm gonna just probably spend the rest of the day and maybe the rest of these 4 or 5 days that I have until June 1st starts, just going and fleshing out this plot and the outline and just getting it outlined to the point where when I sit down to write it, I won't have so many starts and stops where I'm trying to figure out what happens next. That is my plan. Also, as far as vlogging for this time, I'm undecided if I want to do daily vlogs or if I want to do weekly vlogs. So for example, this video right now is a part of a weekly vlog. I am already at 13 minutes of recording. I personally don't like long vlogs. So for me, if I would have reached this point, then this would become a daily vlog. This would have to be a clip by itself. So you guys let me know in the comments, even though this challenge will already have been started by the time you guys see this video. You guys let me know if you prefer long vlogs or shorter vlogs, and from there on I can decide what I'm gonna do. But like I said, I personally don't really enjoy long vlogs. I like to just get to it. So I'm undecided on if I want to do daily or weekly videos to document my process, to see if I can publish a book by September 30th. That is the goal. So I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to get back to trying to plot. I've got some YouTube videos up, so I'm going to watch that. And then I'll give you guys another update later. Bye. Okay, so I'm tired. And it's probably because I've just eaten. But I've been sitting here since the last update working out this plot. So what I did was I finished getting everything into the document as far as the plot. Where I was confused at with the fun and games, well, basically Act 2, because a lot of Act 2 I really didn't know what was going to happen. Where I was confused with that, I figured that out. So that is plotted out. And then I sat here and I was like, well, what's next? I did the beat sheet. What's next? What do I do now? And then I was watching some YouTube videos and was like, oh, let's do a character outline. So, I mean, not the character. Let's do a chapter outline. So that's what I have been working on, is the chapter outline. I still have it broken up into acts, but basically trying to see how many chapters for each act and things like that. So far, I'm at chapter 19. There's still more to go because we are still in Act 2 right now. I feel like this book might be a little longer than the other 3, which is fine with me. Couple things, I walked around the apartment to kind of let my mind play the story out so that I knew what to put for each thing, and to play it out so that I could figure out how everything worked out. Like literally, I just got up from here instead of just sitting and staring, and just walked back and forth in the apartment. My apartment's not that huge, but just walked back and forth in the apartment to just let the story play out, especially from the last chapter that I had kind of figured out. And then I would sit down once I got the next chapter figured out and write down what's supposed to happen in that chapter. So we're at chapter 19. I stopped to eat something. I'm tired now, so I don't think I'm going to continue. being honest. Excuse me. So yeah, so that's what I was doing. While working on this, I'm kind of coming across a bit of an issue that I need to try to figure out. So if you're not familiar with my series, The Five Sisters, it is five sisters: Genesis, Isis, Jonah, Liberty, and Freedom. They have a very, very close knit like sisterhood. Outside of what happened in book 3, they've always been super close. So now with the events that's going on in the book, it's basically, this book is going to be about rebuilding their sisterhood. So what they usually deal with in these books is they deal with actual crimes. The oldest sister, Genesis, is a police officer, and sometimes they find themselves in a situation where they're dealing with actual crimes. I have not introduced any like demons or things like that. I really wanted to keep this set solely in the modern world, but magic does exist. So they deal with things. There's a situation that happens in the first book. Their powers are used. They solve the crime. Basically, they use their powers and they solve crime. And the stories are usually always something that ties into what's going on with the rest of the book or what's going on with these sisters personally. So I had to come up with an idea or a reason to kind of put them in almost close proximity with each other. The only thing that I'm having an issue with is as I'm writing out these chapters, I realized that I have not put them in a position to use their powers like at all in this book. One sister uses her powers for like one time, but so far. But I haven't, and we're 19 chapters in, I haven't put any of them in a position where they need to use their powers. So I'm not going to stop what I'm doing now. Well, I'm going to stop for today. But after today, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick back up chapter 19, and we're going to continue with the chapter outlines. And then I'm going to sit and I'm going to think of reasons why they need to use their powers, because that's the book. It's about these girls that have magical powers. They're witches. They have these powers that they just discovered. They have no idea why they have these powers. So I need to put them in a position to be able to use it. So maybe that's something that I'll be thinking about tonight. Some more, try to figure it out. But yeah, that's what we have so far. Yeah, so I will see you in the next clip. As usual, I do not look my best. There's Mr. behind me. But I wanted to just record this clip right now so that I could just kind of stop and focus on what I need to focus on. It is Sunday, June 30th. Tomorrow is Camp NaNoWriMo, and tomorrow is also the day that I decide to start writing book 4 of the Five Sisters in preparation for a September release. So, what have I been doing? I've been plotting. And this outline has taken multiple turns as I've tried to outline. So earlier today, actually it started a couple days ago, but then my desire to do anything dropped to about 5%, and I just didn't do anything. But I pulled up the character sheet for the Five Sisters. I've actually never recorded the characters for this book, except for I did create a family tree with all of the spouses and all of that stuff in it. But there's side characters that I wanted to make sure that I got down so that I didn't forget them if I needed them in the future. So I just read through the first 3 books and took down all of the information that I needed from those first 3 books, all side characters, any friends that they may have mentioned, and things like that. So I did that earlier. I took a nap because I was tired. And then because I was reading through it, I came across a problem that I was having when I was plotting book 4 and I was outlining it. I was doing the chapter outlines. I think I got to about chapter 23, And I realized I'm not really giving them any reason to use their powers, like at all. I have not mentioned using their powers at all. I have not mentioned any romances except for one. I haven't mentioned a lot of stuff that is supposed to be important to this story, and I just couldn't figure out why. And it was when I was reading book 3, which I think that's when for me the story kind of shifted, was book 3. I was reading that, and then some ideas was coming to me. So I, instead of pulling it on a computer, I actually just grabbed my notebook and just started going through. Well, first I did start it on the computer. I started trying to do just a regular outline, and then I just started doing chapters because I was like, I need to break it up in chapters. I decided I needed to break it up in chapters, so I just grabbed my notebook and I started just writing it down. I am at chapter 17. We still have more to go. I just don't think I don't have the desire to finish. I'm going to try to finish. But at least I know I have a basis for the first 16 chapters to start come tomorrow. And either I will end up pantsing the rest of this book, or I'll stop and try to finish plotting it. But I definitely want to start writing tomorrow. I don't want to be plotting. I definitely want to start writing tomorrow. So we will see what happens. I am going to end this video here. Like I said, I look a mess. Yeah, so that's that. We're going to end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think we're going to be doing daily vlogs while I go through this process. It'll kind of give me a reason to get up and to write every day, to work and try to get this book out, kind of. So yeah, I think we're gonna do daily vlogs, but that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Taquanda Taylor. The first 3 books of the 5 Sisters is available on Amazon. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and comment below. Bye.